Hey, Mel. Bri here. Gotta work from home today because the whole family caught a nasty...
Daddy!
Hey, Mikey! If you're gonna puke, find the popcorn bowl! But my availability is 110%. Coincidentally, so is my fever. Kidding. Mel, I'm so cold but hot. But I'm gonna get you that budget just as soon as... Mikey! Popcorn bowl!
Press 1 to use Instacart and get your family's sick day essentials delivered in as fast as 30 minutes. Press 2 to keep working. Do not press 2. Just use Instacart, Brian.
My days working, taking care of my little ones can be a lot. I checked out care.com and it was so easy for me to find local, experienced, and background check sitters. Finding our babysitter was way more affordable than I thought. Care.com makes it super easy. Search for qualified candidates. You can view their profiles, read reviews and ratings, check their availability, send messages directly, get the help that you need. Care.com should be every person's go-to.
Welcome to the PowerCat Podcast, GoPowerCat.com's Kansas State Athletics Show. Make sure you're subscribing to our show at Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcasts. Now, from the GPC studios, here's your host, GoPowerCat publisher, Tim Fitzgerald.
Welcome to the overtime. That's right. It's the overtime. We're back. We still haven't been canceled either by society or the podcast gods. We have come back for the third edition of our 400th year. I don't know how long we've done the overtime. Zach, I don't even know how long we've been doing the regular podcast, let alone the overtime.
It's been 84 years.
Stayed in active duty 84 years.
84 years old.
We started podcasting before there was big networks of podcasts. I don't even know how we were doing
like the late 2000s.
Yeah.
I feel like NPR was like the only podcast type of thing.
We were the NPR.
If you listen to a podcast, you probably listen to NPR back in the day when this probably started.
It's good for a nap, I can tell you that. Or a taxi ride.
This is NPR Pledge Week. Please give.
Whenever you got into a big city taxi, it was always NPR.
Those are the rules.
I don't know why. I think they were told to do that. I don't know. Was it all part of the brainwashing of all the citizens? All cabs will have NPR. Tim Fitzgerald, Zach Carlson, Cole Carmody, Ryan Gilbert, who's temporarily employed by me. But we'll see how the podcast goes. He's causing trouble. He's a disruptive child.
Who still takes taxis, by the way?
You talking to me?
Well, that was back in the day. That's what I'm talking about. I know. I kind of feel bad for taxi drivers.
You talking to me?
I didn't see as many in New York as I thought I would see.
You talking to me?
What do you mean?
Like yellow taxis. Like I figured in movies, you always see yellow taxis down the street.
There was
plenty.
There was plenty.
I wonder, though, how much that's gotten watered down by...
I'm sure there's less than there were 10 years ago.
But can you imagine doing rideshare in Manhattan,
No.
New York? Oh, my God. Trying to get to your person and then get them somewhere. I don't know how you'd make money. You'd just be sitting in traffic the whole time.
I ordered DoorDash, and they came on a bicycle, which I thought was really cool.
Smart.
Yeah.
Is that?
Well, an Uber from JFK to Midtown is like $130.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have to calculate in the amount of time you just sit around. Did you make Gilbert pay that?
No, TJ.
Oh, TJ paid that. That's good. It's good. I saved some money there. We're sponsored by Taco Lucha, where I ate lunch and had outstanding bar service.
From the other bartender.
Ryan Gilbert.
No.
Ryan Gilbert and the bartender named Cole, which is very confusing. Someone's going to have to change their name.
He's also from Olathe, if you didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You said that last week, that you kind of knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
Two Coles.
C squared.
Again, I mean, here you should be Hammer. That could be your new name.
What?
Well, here we go.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah, Hammer. Okay, Thimble. Anyhow, we're sponsored by Taco Lucha and So Long Saloon, known on this podcast as Lucha and Saloon. Lucha! God, Lucha's so good.
Come here, I'm gonna eat you. I'm bigger than you. I'm higher in the food chain. Get in my belly. Come on.
You okay with it?
Yeah.
Are you having a battle with the microphone, Zach?
He's rubbing his eyes. His allergies must have kicked in.
Yeah.
He's allergic to fun times. It could be he's covering up his crying. Zach screwed up, and we're just going to lay it all out there. that Zach screwed up and didn't put up a overtime podcast questions thread.
I didn't put one up, and I forgot that I locked.
So we had to go back to last week's. We might have to dig into random podcast questions from Cole or the internet.
What the?
Or just ask Ryan Gilbert to make funny impersonations for like 20 minutes. How many you got?
I get 20 minutes out of it. Sure.
You got Trump. Anyone else famous? Do you do me?
Not really. We can save it for later. I can try.
It's always just you as Frank Martin.
Yeah.
That's the only one he does.
I can do your DD intro. We'll save it for later, though.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. Why don't you just start using that? Why don't you just come do the DDs and we'll have Zach put my face over it? Like, can AI do that? Enough. Can AI do that? Like, have him do it, but then substitute me in?
Yeah, it's called a deep fake.
Deep
Okay,
fake.
let's do it.
Yeah. You can make a deep fake.
DFDD. I like it. Get into Lucha and Saloon whenever you're in town. I love them both so much. There's nothing better than just a saloon burger. Get the Fitz, because you can build your own. So I remove all the stuff and put grilled mushrooms and grilled onions and bacon on my saloon burger.
If I say I want the Fitz, will they know what I'm talking
Absolutely
about?
not.
I thought the Fitz would have been Resist Temptation chicken.
Yeah, that's what the Fitz is.
Well, I do get that most often.
Save that topic for later, though. We got a question about one of the toppings.
Well, then let's just get into it. Cole Carmody's going to read the questions today, and he's going to do a really good job.
Thank you.
I'm
hope
going to
so.
encourage him, and I'm going to support him in every way.
That's a first. From Americat, what's your favorite piece of K-State memorabilia / attire? So I guess I don't want to say slash. We might as well say and attire.
Well, this whole room is filled with...
Let's start with that. Can we just each pick out our own piece? Because there's a bunch of really good ones in here, but there's a few that I think stick out.
It's the Ahern one for me.
That
it's
one?
the photo. Yeah, because it's got the 48-star American flag.
It's so wild.
That is pretty cool. I didn't never notice that.
Yeah.
Alaska and Hawaii, the freak states.
I don't know how you don't notice it. Like, everything's just perfectly
Even
aligned.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I for me, it's got to be the Nichols Fire.
The thing about that photo is the people in the foreground that you really don't notice until you look at it closer. There's just a huge crowd in front of watching it burn.
So are all these images, if you like Googled Nichols Fire photo, would you be able to find this on?
These are from the K-State archives.
Okay.
So it's kind of a secret back door. And you can print them out for personal use, but you can't sell them or anything. You can buy prints from them, but
that one is, and I also like the one of Aggieville. There's a small print that had Aggieville. What is that? Circa 1920, 30?
Yeah, the one where traffic's going backwards.
Yeah,
with the old, not Model Ts, but the old cars. That's pretty cool. That's way up top over there. There are so many cool photos on that site. Zach, yours is We Want a Fieldhouse, right?
I actually like that photo. I love the We Want a Fieldhouse photo,
Yeah.
but I really do love the 48-star.
So is the We Want a Fieldhouse circa what? 1950s?
No, 40s.
40s?
Yeah, that's right. Between World War II, they started building Ahern in 48. I think my favorite is actually one that isn't officially K-State memorabilia. It's the photo of the Aggieville riot that I bought because the VW Bug being overturned is in front of our old offices. That's why I bought it.
And then you notice that you know people.
Then I noticed that I have 4 or 5 fraternity brothers actively involved in the vandalism.
So when was this?
This is 84.
I guess I was not familiar with this incident.
How did they not get arrested when there's photographic evidence?
Well, the Raleigh County Police were baffled by it, so I don't know. Now, I'd like to point out that there's 3 guys in this photo who are all multimillionaires now. So me being law-abiding for the most part when I was in college apparently was my downfall. I'm not a really big memorabilia guy. I mean, I've got like a signed Jack Hartman basketball sitting in my garage. I've got a John Weefald autographed football from, I think it's the 2003 championship in the garage. I'm not into that stuff. You're more of a collector than I am. I've got all kinds of stuff from the old office still in the storage shed that we need to sort out. Oops.
I've got a number of cards, like Jordy Nelson. These are all autographs. Jordy Nelson, Michael Beasley. I have a Michael Beasley and Rolando Blackman like co-autographed.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Like it's a dual autographed card. It graded very poorly, so I'm a little upset by that. But it was a cool card.
What did it not do well on its exams? Like reading and writing? What?
It only got a 7.
Wow.
I am a big memorabilia person, and eventually I would love to get the newspapers from New York when after the Sweet 16 game. I have the King of New York and the something other Manhattan that they have for Marquise. I would love to get those signed and framed.
Should have went to Topeka today. Bud.
I did notice that. So eventually, I'd like to get that up on my wall, and that would probably be my favorite right now. But I also have a Gronkowski nameplate of when he was at K-State. One of my old friends had a friend who was an equipment manager who lifted Gronkowski's last name off of the jersey when he was here. And so I have just the last name that says Gronkowski in purple and white.
That randomly.
Yeah, it's very random, but I think it's pretty cool. And so that's probably my favorite one. And I also have a repurposed K-State white helmet that sits on my little nightstand. We have lots of K-State memorabilia there, Ryan. We really do.
Zach, you reminded me. Don't I still need to get that paper from you?
Yeah, I still have one.
Okay, good.
And if Brian Gates is listening to this podcast, I still have yours.
And he texted me about it too. I have a bunch for him.
Yeah. Oh,
so there you go.
Brian's just going outside of the group chat, just trying to get papers
He's a
from
hustler.
everybody who's in New York City.
Those are really cool, by the way. Like if you have not seen one of those in person, they're pretty cool. And for newspapers kind of being a dying breed, I thought it was really cool that he was featured being from New York. That was why I wanted to get it. If he wouldn't have been from New York, probably wouldn't have got it.
You kind of said New York.
New York.
Just a little bit. Yeah, I was kind of
See, I'm a big newspaper guy. Like I enjoy having a newspaper and reading a newspaper, but also like I recognize just the insignificance of them today, you know?
Yeah.
And like it just didn't feel as cool as maybe I thought it would have been like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But like it was hard actually to find newspapers in New York City. Like it's tough. Like you had to go to the train station basically and find a bodega that actually sold magazines. So nobody else did.
Attire,
books, magazines, newspapers.
As far as attire goes, are we a long sleeve lavender pullover? I don't own one of those, but that would be my favorite. Would you guys probably agree with me on that?
I own one. I haven't worn it because I don't. I really don't buy a lot of K-State apparel.
We don't wear it. I pointed this out before. You don't wear fan gear or colors in a press box. It's bad form. You're there working. You're there for free. You're there because you're a journalist. So we wear company stuff or neutral stuff. I will wear a 24/7 purple polo I have when K-State plays TCU. It's the only time I wear purple in a press box. So I never owned much K-State stuff, and then we started the daily deliveries. And now I literally have a drawer full of shirts between 24/7 and K-State.
You know what you need to do is get on that PowerCat auction and buy the. I don't think there's any triple X's.
That's the problem.
The double X's are like going for like $1,000 right now for 4 of the coaches' pullovers for basketball.
Well, I know they've got to have something larger available because Marco. So,
I bet he would give you one.
I like the lavender pullover a lot. First of all, I just look great in lavender. Ryan Gilbert, you agree that the boss looks good in
Is it in your color wheel?
No.
It's in your color wheel?
Still my favorite sports quote of all time. Dean Wade. Hey, Dean, do you like the lavender uniforms? Not really on my color wheel. Oh, my God. It was so funny. I about fell over. That's a guy with a mom who knows a color wheel and shared it with the kids. But it doesn't fit me well. I mean, it's big enough. It just kind of clings in bad clinging spots for a fat guy.
Have you tried wearing that Under Armour polo I picked up for you in Houston?
Oh, my God. No, I don't even know where it's at right now. I have no idea.
There's a K-State Under Armour polo?
No,
it was. I think I've probably worn it here.
I have no idea where it's at.
But it's like lavender up top, or Is it purple up top or lavender on the bottom?
Yeah.
I don't know. But like the back's all purple. So I think the top's purple and then the front's like lavender.
But it was
like
dirt
a two-tone. It was like $30.
It was dirt cheap, and it was a XX, so he bought it for me. And then we put it on. Like it's at the Texas Bowl.
Yeah.
And so I put it on, and it's literally painted on me. It's horrible.
I don't think it was that bad.
It's disgusting. But it's a really cool pullover. But
It'd
yeah.
be fine. Like you sit behind the desk. It would be fine on the DD. I think it would be okay.
No, it would not.
I think it would be okay.
I do. My favorite shirt, though, is a Cutter and Buck purple shirt that I have that has a cool design. The only thing I don't like about it is they, put the Power Cat on it in a, like, off the color. It's like a poorly matched purple. It doesn't even look like the right color. That's the only thing I don't like about it. I wish they'd just done white or gray or something.
I just remember when people were freaking out over the Cat's script, like all that.
Yeah, the loser
attire. Yeah. And then they just embraced the lavender, which is like basically from the same era.
But basketball won.
True, I get that. But like, again, it's just the
look. You got to understand that
K-State fans.
1988 was like hitting rock bottom, and that's the only year that script was used on a helmet. Was the worst year that most of us remember. Now, some older fans remember Doug Weaver doing the same thing, so there's a matching year for them out there. But yeah, it's a cool logo, though. It is cool.
It is, yeah.
It'd look really good tattooed on Ryan Gilbert. Ryan Gilbert, the fly's still here, and if you're listening to the podcast and you listen to the Questions podcast, the fly has not been in the room for 3 days. We did these back to back, but the fly is still tormenting us.
I'm still waiting on Daphne to go after it.
She's pretty laid back today. You
remember that, right, guys?
Oh, yeah.
That was probably the funniest.
Guys, you missed the bird being loose in the house today. So, when the weather's nice, I just leave the patio door cracked open so the dogs can come and go. A little finch came in the house. And it was bouncing around the living room. The dogs are chasing it. Then it goes into the kitchen because there's like a little turn there to get in the kitchen. So it got itself into the kitchen and couldn't figure out how to get back out. And it kept hitting the windows and landing on weird stuff. And finally, I got it out of the kitchen. And it landed on top of a cabinet in which Becky has really valuable glass on it. Daphne jumped up on the cabinet. Yep. And nothing happened. And I was able to that cabinet's right by the door, so I was able to get the far side and scare the bird, and it went right out the door, and dude chased it all the way to the fence. Dude, you're not going to catch a bird outside, buddy. Daphne didn't see it leave, though. So a little bit later, I hear it crash. Yeah, she jumped back up on the cabinet looking for the bird and knocked some of it off. Nothing was broken.
Oh, my God.
Daphne was almost short for this world.
Do you have a Ring camera set up in your kitchen?
No.
Darn it. I would love to see this.
Sounds like a scene out of Christmas Vacation.
Oh, the dogs.
I think people that set up cameras in their house are weird.
Weird.
I would absolutely never do that.
No. What if you had a little kid? That's different.
No.
What?
Why?
I maybe if you had a kid with a babysitter or something, but all these people like, look at this weird thing that happened, and you caught it on my camera inside my house. I'm like, okay, first of all, I don't believe then it was.
Why are you filming yourself?
What about a baby who's asleep? Like,
well, that's fine.
I think a baby monitor is different than a
like living room camera.
Yeah,
I mean, I just saw a bunch of on TikTok. This guy's doors were open, and I'm like, okay, this is so staged.
Yeah,
this is not real.
Strange. Next question comes from Chris66204. When was the last time you were hit in the nuts? Was it an accident, and did you deserve it?
Oh, great Odin's Raven.
Wow, that just went to this whole podcast just went to a whole new level.
I don't remember my nuts, but I had a close call in New York City at Madison Square Garden.
Wow. What? Gilbert? Was it Gilbert?
Yes. No, it was.
Yes, it was.
Where did the bad man touch you?
Up in the upper deck, like in the little media area, there was this big glass ledge. It was like a barrier, but like the corner was unprotected. So I got up. Man, it's like a 90-degree angle, inch thick glass, and like it's sharp. Like it doesn't feel good. and I got up to run to the elevator because I saw it was up so I could get down to the locker room after the Florida Atlantic game. And I missed the corner, and I stabbed myself in the stomach.
That went slightly better than the worst it could have possibly gone, so...
And it hurt, and, like, I didn't think anything of it. And the next day...
So it got you in the upper deck, too.
Yeah, got me. And then I think we were at JFK the next day about to fly home. I was like, wow, this really hurts. Or no, it was we got to O'Hare, and I was like, this really hurts. So I look at my stomach, and it's just black, bruised. So I was bruised for about a week.
I can confirm I did see it at the Chili's at O'Hare.
He's just showing off his bruise at a Chili's.
Yeah. A Chili's 2. Wasn't a full Chili's.
Oh, my God.
The last time I was hit in the man parts would have been this fall. For those of you that are not aware, I do play club baseball at K-State, and so I was catching.
So you don't have bats, you have clubs? How's that work?
Oh, it's a strange game.
Oh, I'm damned.
A ball came and hit me right there, and it was the most painful thing. I was wearing a cup, but it hurt very badly, and I threw my glove on the ground and said a naughty word. And so, no, I did not deserve it, and yes, it was an accident, Chris. And that's not the first time that's happened. The worst time it's ever happened was in high school, and I was warming up this kid. He played baseball at Eastern Illinois, and he was a pitcher. He probably threw around 90 or 91.
So he's the Tony Romo of baseball?
Yes, he was. I'm catching him in the bullpen. I'm kind of paying attention, kind of not. He decides to throw while I'm not looking.
Okay.
And the ball came and hit me right there. I was supposed to start at first base that game. I didn't play. I had to have ice on it the whole day, and it was the worst pain I've ever felt.
Yeah. I don't even remember the last time I took a full shot. I mean, I think the last time I got, tapped by one of my softball guys, and they learned, don't ever do that to me again. Don't do that.
It's so bad because you just want to throw up. Like,
I want to go number 2.
Really?
Yeah, that's how my body works, yeah.
That's interesting. I've never heard that.
I thought that was normal.
You're just wired different.
It's the worst feeling with seeing it happen, especially in a baseball game to somebody you know, because
God.
I mean, you'll just be watching a baseball game and then they'll show it in slow motion like a catcher taking one in the junk and you're like, oh my God. And then he's just sitting there on the trainer comes out and everybody's laughing around him like there's like nothing you can do. Like, sorry.
Yeah, I think I've told this story before. Youth baseball team we were playing was just killing us, and they just started messing around and moving players around, and they put the third string catcher in, and he wasn't wearing a cup, and he took a foul ball.
Oof.
And ended up in an ambulance. It was that bad. They went inside. They were inside.
Like a frightened turtle.
Yeah.
The first year I umpired, I did not wear a cup, and then I had some laces on my thigh.
Close enough to make you
close enough to where I was like, you know what?
It doesn't even have to be a bad foul ball.
Right. Like these are kids. Like it's not. And like it was, you clip a pitch and it just barely deflects it and it hits you in the thigh and you have laces for the next week on your skin. You're just like, all right, we can afford the cup.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought part of my treatment is I'm on hormone suppressants, so they turn my testosterone off. I thought they would be less sensitive without testosterone, but no, they're not as impressive, but no, they were so impressive. Could sell advertising space on that thing. Anyhow, not that thing, the other thing, the bag thing, that thing.
Jeez.
Zach just covered up his face and left. So I didn't get any benefit out of that, although I could compete in women's sports now.
I like your shirt, Zach.
Thank you.
What is it? Patagonia.
Patagonia, Pittsburgh.
Well, good for you.
I wonder why.
Yeah. That question was nuts.
The humans will be right back.
If you're in the market for investment-worthy bags, watches, and fine jewelry, Rebag is the answer. Rebag is a luxury resale marketplace where each piece is carefully vetted and verified by experts to ensure quality and authenticity. If you're in the market, use Rebag to buy and sell finds from the world's top brands, including Hermes, Chanel, and Cartier. Head to Rebag.com to get 10% off your first purchase with code REBAG10. Shop today at Rebag.com. That's REBAG.com. And use promo code REBAG10 for 10% off your first purchase. purchase.
The ads are done. Speak humans.
Next question comes from Chris66204. Name the restaurant or menu that you were excited to eat at that turned out to be incredibly disappointing.
Bombshells.
Whataburger.
Ooh, that's actually a hot take.
Let's have a
In-N-Out.
let's have a discussion about Whataburger. I don't think it's as good.
Because it's in Kansas City.
No. I haven't been to one in Kansas City. I think since it was sold to a corporate thing, I don't think it's as good.
If you blindfolded me and I tasted McDonald's and I tasted Whataburger, I don't think I could tell you difference.
Oh, no. Whataburger has a unique taste to it.
Mm-hmm.
It really does, but I don't think it's as consistent as it was before. I've had some bad Whataburger, and maybe you did.
The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich tastes the same as it did 13 years ago whenever I tried it first. Tastes the same. It's the same.
What do you like about it?
It's delicious.
It is a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's
so average. Everything on the menu.
I actually think the burgers are better than the chicken strip sandwich, and I'm a big. So I've had this thing for a long time where it was I will not eat fast food hamburgers. Like for my whole life, for whatever reason, I just always ordered chicken, and I'm like, I don't really know why, but I've always lived under the mantra. It's a lot harder to screw up a piece of breaded chicken than it is a burger, which is actually probably reverse. Like I would imagine.
Yeah, it's
probably harder. It's probably easier to screw up chicken. But for whatever reason, I just always get chicken. And so when I tried Whataburger, like their hamburger, I'm like, dang, like I actually kind of like this. So I don't mind Whataburger, but I will not go there whenever I'm in the South or like in Texas or Arkansas or wherever these Whataburgers are, because whenever I go back home to Kansas City, I can just go there and get it. Like, so to me, it kind of has lost its aura about why should I go to Whataburger when I can just go to Kansas City and get it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree.
So that's kind of where I'm at with Whataburger.
What was the question?
Okay, name the restaurant or menu you were excited to eat that turned out to be disappointing.
Like that's actually my answer. Is Whataburger.
No, I know you didn't like it.
It's definitely In-N-Out though. The burger's small.
See, I really like In-N-Out.
The fries are good. I'll give In-N-Out credit for the fries because they're fresh cut. But the burgers, it's what people say about Whataburger. It's a burger. Very small.
How about the Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich? I was really excited for that after Popeyes. Popeyes lived up to the hype.
I'm disappointed that you were excited for KFC.
Well, I just wanted to compare it to Popeyes. Like all these chicken restaurants, you would think that one restaurant would try and up one another. I was excited to try the KFC sandwich. I tried it, and then I realized I will never go back to the Manhattan KFC because it was absolutely disgusting.
Well, first of all, that's not.
I did get the last
KFC.
The last KFC thing I think I ever ordered was that Cheetos chicken sandwich where they put the Cheetos on it and the Cheetos sauce. Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what my answer is?
Great.
I'm changing my answer. It's the Doritos Locos Taco.
Yeah,
I was excited to try that, and it's like
the nacho cheese one?
Yeah, like the original.
I'm sad they got rid of the Cool Ranch one because I'm a Cool Ranch guy.
You are. That'd be a good nickname for you.
Cool Ranch guy?
What's up, Cool Ranch? If you've been listening to the podcast for many years, we openly politicked to get a Popeyes in this town. We got a Popeyes in this town. And it is the worst Popeyes I've ever been to in my life. Mm-hmm. It's run like they're serving prison food. One time I went up to the Popeyes and they said, due to staffing shortages, the lobby's not open. This is after COVID, when everyone else was open. They couldn't find enough people. So please go to the drive-thru. I pull up to the drive-thru. A sign says,
go to the window.
It doesn't work. Go to the window. Order at the window. So it's chicken. So you order at the window, and then that car sits there and waits for their order. Then next car pulls up and sits there and waits for their order. I'm like, what are you doing? And plus, I've always liked Popeye's spicy chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And the one in Manhattan was like putting so much spice on it. It was obnoxious. It's like they weren't following the recipe. I don't know. That's been the biggest disappointment. Is I wanted Popeye, so I love fried chicken.
The chickens here have wonderful lives before we harvest them so you can eat them.
I love fried chicken. Chicken. I love fried chicken. Zach, do you get that?
Yes.
What's that from?
Some random kid that's being interviewed on the news about why is he hanging out at, is it a Chick-fil-A?
I don't know.
I think it was one of those like first 100 people get free Chick-fil-A for a year type things. It's like, it's chicken. It's fried chicken. Just this little kid.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, I'm here in the freezing cold getting free chicken sandwiches because the food tastes great. I mean, it's chicken. It's fried chicken. I like fried chicken.
So Ryan says Whataburger. Fitz says Popeyes. Zach, you say
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. Okay. And I said Doritos Locos Tacos. Fair enough. Next question comes from our good old friend Chris 66204 once again. This is a great question.
Zip code Chris.
What is a movie that is generally considered bad that you absolutely love?
Spring Breakers.
I don't know, guys.
Give me Spring Breakers every time.
The Replacements.
Never watched it.
Fitz?
Probably for good reason.
No, I thought it was okay. Not great. I don't know.
How about Major League 2? That's a movie that I do like that people do not like.
Gills, you're not a big movie guy, so you're out on this.
Bad Grandpa was the only one
that's fair.
Came to my mind because it's not a traditional movie, but that is right up my alley.
There's a lot of people don't like that movie.
I know there's an answer to this. I know there's a movie that everyone raved about I thought was horse crap.
See, I'm kind of like the other way around. Like, there's some movies that everybody loves, but I don't really like at all. Like, I don't think A Christmas Story is very good. Like, if I'm going to watch a Christmas movie, I'm not going to watch A Christmas Story. I'd rather watch Christmas Vacation.
See, I think why that hits so well is it's before my time, but we can recall how you wanted gifts that were so simple, like a Red Ryder, BB gun. So I think that's why. I think it's one of those movies that is so bad it's good. Does that make sense?
Another answer to this question for me is Fast and Furious. I absolutely love those movies. I've watched every single one of them. A lot of people hate them, but I love them. They're entertaining. They're stupid, which makes them fun. And so that's why I like the Fast and Furious movies. Especially the early ones, like Too Fast, Too Furious. Probably one of my favorite movies.
Really?
When he's driving and then he clicks the ejecto-ceto, and he goes flying out the door.
Okay, we can go anywhere with this question. Let's have a question that Brian Gilbert can answer.
Well, he teased it earlier in the podcast.
There we go.
This is from O2_cat. What is the appropriate condiment to put on a fried egg sandwich? I feel obliged to clarify that cheese is not a condiment. So he says you cannot have a cheese and egg sandwich.
Who out there says cheese is even a condiment in the first place? I've never heard that.
So it's just two slices of bread with a fried egg. First of all, that's a bad move. Just have the damn
bacon?
egg.
How about bacon?
Yeah. I mean, we do ham and fried egg sandwiches.
Meat and cheese is not a condiment.
Right. Mayo is the only answer to this. Mayo.
Ugh. I don't think.
Well, you don't like any condiments. You don't even wear
Never mind. How about you just eat something else?
Yeah, that's the thing. I wouldn't eat a fried egg sandwich, so I don't know what would go on it. I don't know what would go on it.
We just got wild. We get wild in this house and a little nutty. We did a little experimenting. Becky and I did. You know what I mean? A little experimenting. And I had she had a ham and egg sandwich, and I had a roast beef and egg sandwich.
That sounds disgusting.
It wasn't as good as the ham. Why does ham and egg go better together than like turkey or roast beef or something? It doesn't make sense.
Dr. Seuss said so.
Probably a lot of truth to that.
So
you tried having roast beef and egg?
That just sounds like psychotic, Fitz. I'm not going to lie.
That sounds like you should be institutionalized.
That sounds like you had an explosion on the toilet is what it sounds like.
No, none of that happened. I should be institutionalized. Totally separate from this. It was just a sandwich option. I bought some cheddar and I bought some roast beef for beef and cheddar sandwiches, which I enjoy. We got crazy. I'm telling you what, when you've been married 33 years, you'll try anything.
You literally woke up one morning and you were like, what if Arby's served breakfast?
Oh my God.
Hey, Becky, we have the meats. Let's get in the kitchen.
Roast
And she
beef
yells
and
back from the
egg?
kitchen, "You sure don't." So, I don't know.
I can only imagine what. Oh my God, that just
It was fine. It didn't hit
on a sandwich.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
what about steak and eggs? What about a steak and egg sandwich?
That'd be good. That'd be okay.
See, I don't like egg. Actually, that's my thing. I don't really think that eggs are.
I don't like eggs on a burger. Like, that's why I get the resist temptation with chicken.
Which I've never had chicken with an egg before, which was kind of weird.
It's very confusing for the chicken and the egg.
Yeah, but it was good.
It's hard to figure out what to eat first.
What is all in the resist?
Bacon, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the meat
chicken.
of your selection, or portobello mushroom. Does anyone really order the portobello? I don't know. You don't work over there. They thought about having you work over there, and then they thought, no.
They're thinking about it again, but that guy named Mark is in charge of it, and I don't know if he has the,
Okay.
Mark needs to get us the security camera footage from Saturday. Mark, we need to see what we want.
Yes, we do need to get the security footage of the apartment too.
Yeah, you guys should have had a camera set up in your apartment.
We have something in our living room.
I'm tracking now. I don't know. Footage probably blows. Next question.
Jesus. From Jay Bull and PSU, what's the most unpopular opinion each of you has? So I'm assuming this can't be politics. This can't be sports.
Oh, but, yeah, exactly. We said.
No, I don't know what else I talk about.
With this thing.
I'll go first.
No.
Jim Nance is
Overrated.
a very bad commentator. He's very bad at his job, and it makes no sense why he's the number one lead guy for CBS. Do you guys disagree, or you agree?
I see where you're coming from. I think he just became a voice of two giant sporting events, the NCAA tournament and the Masters. It always has bothered me when he does the pregame introductions of the players. Why is the play-by-play guy doing the PA too?
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
I've never liked that. I feel like the PA guy's like, screw you, this is my job.
Yeah.
I'm curious what Ian Eagle will do next year. Will Ian be like, I want to do that, or is he like...
No, I don't think Ian Eagle cares about being in the spotlight like Jim Nance does.
I definitely get that vibe from Jim Nance, though. I think he's good on football with Tony Romo. I actually do. I really do.
People say he's good at golf. I don't watch golf, so I can't really speak on it, but football, he's awful.
Like, with golf, he doesn't have to call every shot. And like, it's a team of people. They just he kind of kicks it around to... He's more of like the Reese Davis on College Game Day than he is like the lead play. I mean, he is the lead play-by-play, but like there's other guys commentating golf tournaments.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like royalty, like government. Like, you're placed into this position of power, and you're there for 20 years when you shouldn't be. Like, that's Jim Nance. He got, when did 2000 maybe is when he started as the lead guy, and that's kind of how they do it in that industry. You just get placed there as the lead guy for a while, and I don't think he ever should have been there in the first place. So, and maybe I'm weird because I studied journalism at K-State, broadcast journalism, all that stuff. I did play-by-play. I, in my opinion, have the right and wrong way to do things, and I think he does a lot of things the wrong way.
Another unpopular opinion of mine is teachers should get paid more.
I think most of us agree with that. We just got to figure out how to do it.
Yeah. I don't know if that's
not an unpopular opinion.
There is a lot of people that disagree with that. That is very...
The counterpoint, I'm not saying...
They don't disagree with them getting raises. They disagree with raising the taxes to do that.
Sure.
The counterpoint is teachers only work like 9 months out of the year, though. And I'm not saying I agree or disagree with that, but that's the other side of the argument.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, I agree.
A lot of teachers base their salaries off of a 12-year or like a 12-month.
Mm-hmm.
But they can do something else for 3 months. They can go...
You can be a bartender at Taco Lucha for 3 months and work with me.
You can go paint houses. Or
shouldn't they do something they'd enjoy?
Okay, they can work with Cole bartender.
He's a badass.
Cole bartender. There you go. That's a good way of distinctions.
I'm trying to think of something that
Can I get back on my teachers?
Yeah.
Pedestal. Also, I'm sure there's educators that listen to this, but like another thing that I think should happen is school should start later. I just don't think that kids are engaged at 7:50 in the morning for first hour classes.
Later in the day. I would agree with that.
And what's the difference between getting out of school at 3:30 and 4 o'clock? There's really not that big of a difference, but there's a huge difference between starting school at 7:30 and 8 o'clock, or even 8 and 8:30. I know some places start school at 8:30. A certain district that I'll be going to next year does, and I am grateful for that because I think it keeps kids engaged. But I wouldn't be opposed to starting at 9 o'clock and getting done at 4 o'clock. Like, there's
sounds like somebody
reason.
wants to sleep in a little bit. That's
yeah. Like my stepdad's.
Well, the kids do.
Yeah, my stepdad's
and the
district.
Teacher, Mr. Carmody.
Sure. But it makes my job easier too, right? I mean,
sure.
My stepdad's district starts at 7:20 a.m.
That's not good. That's nuts.
I don't understand that. Like, I just don't get the logic. And now, granted, that is a district that's trying to go to a 4-day school week. I don't know how that is going to pan out, but
I don't get that at all. How would parents want that? What do you do with your children on that last day?
That's the question. And how do you get kids to extracurricular activities who don't drive? Like,
right.
There's a lot of questions there.
Just convince the workplace to let parents work 4-day weeks too,
which is an unpopular opinion, but our society should have 4-day work.
I think that's an unpopular opinion either.
No, I would agree with that. One of the great things come out of COVID is, for so many years, employers try to say, well, if we let employees work from home, they won't be productive. And here's what employers don't realize. If you have a 9-to-5 work environment, I mean, none of us do that. You're going to be a teacher, you work for me, and you work as a bartender. I mean, you have structured, this is what we do and why we do it. But to go to a job 9 to 5, do you realize how much time employers are losing from employees? Well, let's just say this. We had a question about the best time to put up something on the website from someone on our staff. And I said, well, not Sunday. We need to really, why is a week more busy? Because people are at work.
Yeah.
Just counterintuitive.
If it's not a Sunday after a football game.
Right. There's no traffic.
Yeah, don't.
There's a little bit of traffic, but
Sunday's fine, but it's just like, if it's the summertime, Sunday's not a great day. Let it be Monday.
And the really shocking thing is people have gone home to work. The boss perceives them as being more productive from this, and yet the reality is they're working a lot less because they're no longer hanging out the cooler with Wanda and talking about their weekend. They're no longer talking about their golf game with Joe in the break room or at their desk. They're at home, and they can do things that they really want to do, so get their work done and go do that. So, I mean, we're a perfect example of that. We all just kind of work from our own space now. We don't have an office. I thought an office was like, for me and what we do, an office represented like a locker room. Mm-hmm. Like you all kind of hang out. But I've been proven wrong on that. We do just fine like this. But you guys do come over a lot. I mean, we're in my basement right now. I don't know. I don't think I have an unpopular opinion on something everyone else loves that I hate.
Gilbert?
Well, everyone hates you. That's my unpopular opinion. I actually love you, and everyone else just despises you.
Thank you.
Ooh, it's going out there. I don't know how the radar show.
It's not really going. It's just kind of
grumbling.
The radar shows nothing, does it? Or something below?
It wasn't showing anything.
Crazy.
I don't know.
That wasn't our last question, was it?
Mm-hmm. It was. Oh. I'm trying to come up with my unpopular opinion. I really don't know.
Zach gets angry at a lot of things.
I have plenty, but like on the spot, like I just don't.
Another unpopular opinion that I have is Kansas is actually a really nice state. There's a lot of people that live in Kansas that want to leave Kansas.
That fly likes your face.
But like the Kansas City area, Kansas in general, it has 4 seasons sometimes in general, typically.
Well, in a day.
Yeah. But there's everything you could possibly want to raise a family in Kansas. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's why K-State is going to have successful recruiting. And I also think that's why people are so much happier in Kansas because there is everything you need right here. So that is an unpopular opinion. There's a lot of people that live here, including my mother, who wants to move to Texas for some I have no idea reason.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I think she's kind of just like, she's over like everything. She's like, oh, I want to go somewhere different. I'm like, why? This is the best place you could possibly want to be.
I get warm weather. Yeah.
Mine's probably you should wear a polo shirt and tuck it in on the golf course.
Oh God.
You should
Zach,
be
your
tucking.
unpopular opinion is your shower towel thing.
Yeah, that was last week. Is the shower thing? I
That
guess.
is an unpopular opinion for golf, Zach.
I think that you should
Tuck
be
it
tucking your
in?
shirt in. If you're not wearing a shirt that is not designed to be tucked in, so like a sweater or a jacket,
untuck it.
Cape.
You or a shirt that is tailored to not be tucked in.
Untuck it.
No, not an untuck it.
It's designed to be worn untucked.
But like
exactly
something
what you
where
just
like
said.
the belt, like your belt, a shirt where your belt is visible. You know, where you literally can't tuck it in.
Okay,
That's
what's
fine.
my dress code for bartending in Aggieville? I want to know.
I mean, you should be wearing non-slip shoes. You don't do that. You just wear your old. Did you get new Nikes? I noticed this. Did you get the same pair of shoes, or did you like clean them? Because they look cleaner yesterday.
I
when was in the
washed
gym.
them.
Okay,
So they look.
they did look like
Are you talking about these
cleaner.
ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I washed both my work shoes and these ones.
Okay.
They're both Nike.
Are they both the same shoes?
They're a little different, but they're
Okay.
kind of the same basic. Like
They look like they looked cleaner.
Gone to
Free
hell.
run.
This is just gone to hell.
Yeah, you should have
So what am I supposed to wear?
some black, just ugly non-slip shoes.
If you're still listening to this, I hope you're having a great weekend. Yes.
But yeah, tuck your shirt in on the golf course.
Oh, okay. We'll tuck your shirt in while doing the podcast. That's our new rule. More important than golfing. I disagree with you on that. I think public courses should be open to the masses, even the slobs. Private, I get it.
I got summoned for jury duty. I was looking at the
Here in Manhattan or in Kansas City?
But it gave me like a dress code, like attire. I'm like, you're forcing me to come here. Why are you telling me what to wear?
I agree with that. But you can't wear something, like he did it.
Speaking of jury duty, before we finish this podcast, go check out that show.
I'd want to watch it so bad.
I watched
Zach
the
was
first
telling me
2
about that,
episodes.
yeah.
It
Sure,
was
we're talking
absolutely incredible.
It's on Amazon. Everyone's an actor. James Marsden's in it. He's on this jury, but it's a fake courtroom. Everything's an actor except one guy on the jury who thinks it's real.
And it's
or
hilarious.
who's told it's real. So he's like, everything is meant to be a ruse to him.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah. And I guess like he started figuring it out.
So does
like
this
at
take
some
place
point.
in a real courtroom?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they've got.
Have to if he's showing up to a set. I'm sure they.
Yeah, I'm sure that
There's like hidden
somewhat.
cameras and stuff. Yeah.
See, I'd be like
hidden cameras. Wow, look at that crazy.
See, I
idea.
feel like you wouldn't be able to get me because, like, if they're filming it and I'm a part of it, like, I'd be like, all right, I want to look up who this judge is and who these prosecutors are, and like,
Well,
if they're not,
you can't have your phone.
You go like this is over like 3 weeks. This is a multi-day thing, so that's
Well, that's interesting. I want to watch that.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't ever told you this, but this is all part of a reality show. Yeah.
Go Power Cat? Or
Yeah, the whole thing.
podcast?
Yeah, I've been pulling this off since 1998. There's no actual product. It's just a reality show that you guys have been in.
Wow.
And unfortunately, this podcast is reality too, because it sucked. But we still love you. I'll try to add some stuff. I found the kid that says fried chicken.
Yes.
I've already got it. It's out. It's already there.
I like fried chicken.
We'll talk to you soon. We're done.
Thank you for listening to the Power Cat Podcast. Make sure you're subscribing to our show at Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcasts. Power Cat Podcast. All rights reserved. GoPowerCat.com.
Get in on the action with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa is where the pros play. Enjoy the highest limits, lowest takeouts, competitive betting menus, and the best customer service. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. Circa Sports Iowa. Sports betting the way it should be. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com for details.
With Blue Link Plus, you can access your Hyundai Tucson Limited remotely. Doors unlocked, temperature set, lost car found.
There it is.
Get complimentary class-leading Blue Link Plus. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.